Yeah. The statute to prevent frauds. Practically every state in the union, ooch, has adopted most of its provisions. The language of the statute is confusing. In effect, it says that no legal action, yes, may be taken to enforce the following contracts unless they are in writing. Oh, a contractor by an executor or administrator of an estate to pay the debts or liabilities of a deceased out of the executor or administrator's own party. A contract to pay someone else's debts. A contract made in consideration of marriage. That is a contract that promises something upon someone's marriage. Oh, a contract for the sale of land or any interest in land. A contract by its terms cannot be performed within 1 year of the date of its signature by both parties. Now, I know that you don't think of court orders as contracts, but I would say that they are, yes. And when the conditions of the contract are not executed according to the actual court order, yes, it is the statute to prevent frauds that could be used in large punitive damages, yes, lawsuits. And then there's the compensation, yes. Now, let's say you got to thinking about it and you thought, well, I really don't think your innovations work. And I'm like, well, it really does. See, you have a lot of garbage. I can make, let's say 100 feet long, 12 inches thick, yes, 30 feet high blocks. And then I can make pilings that when the garbage cools, yes, we put rebar in them. And you can pound them into the inside of the block, yes. And then when you pour concrete, the concrete attaches to the rebar that's sticking out of the pilings, yes. And through that process, it attaches itself to the seafloor. Now, I can do a lot with garbage because through the cooling process, it is somewhat moldable to any shape, yes, and you can put all kinds of different products through it, yes, before it hardens. Oh, now at a certain temperature, yes, I could put long pieces of 1 inch thick rebar, yes, could be 10, 20 of them, yeah, through the whole piling, and then you use one of these pile drivers and you drive the pilings into the seafloor. Yeah. So that the concrete attaches itself to the recycled garbage rebar pilings. Yeah. So as to hold the block in place in the seafloor. Now I could put block after block after block. Yes, I can steam the salt water out of it, converting that to fresh water and electricity. And I can make almost an unlimited amount of building in the most expensive port locations of the world. Now I know the Palms. Yes, is it United Arab Emirates? Yeah, they put tons of rock and sand in the ocean to build all these residences. But what if they just use blocks? Something that you don't see because of the water that's on the outside of it? Or maybe Japan wants to put in a new airport. Oh, what if they use blocks, pilings, rebar, and concrete? Yes, to make a runway. Pooh. See, some locations of the world, the availability of building is very expensive because the location where they have been building has run out of land. Yeah. But that happens to have all the attractions of those that are very, very wealthy. Now, for my part, let's say that you're going to continue to obstruct my right to sue you for the fraud of the breach of contract. Well, now it's going to be some additional punitive damages today. $100 billion day, which I'm going to need to use this money to do something. Now, I know you think I'm stupid right now, but I would say that it is a breach of contract, yes, to do anything without it being court ordered and without any forgery or fraud. Now, this is the Sahara Desert. This land should be some of the most expensive throughout the world. Yep. And it's in your mindset that I'm absolutely stupid dumping all this fresh water throughout this whole part. Yes. But from what I've seen, yeah, desert Absorbs water. Yes, it does. Now on this side, yes. I wanted to put a desalinator there, one of the world's largest, right here along the Red Sea. Yes, he did. And then over here on this side, I want to put another one. Yes. And I wanted all the salt from both locations. Yep. And then I wanted to pump the water across right here, look at making Africa fertile. Now, for those in South Africa, why don't you get me your constitution and the attorneys that work in that nation? I'm going to go through each of the nations of Africa. Yes, yes. And I'm going to look at your agreements, your conventions, and your treaties. Now, there's Botswana. It could be Lesotho. Mumbai. Mozambique. Now, when I get to suing the world for the fraud, the statute of frauds, yeah, because the European Union would not obligate the United States to enforce the civil rights of Americans. Yeah, the United Nations said, well, we don't really care. It could be that the continent of Africa, when I get done today, they'll care. I'll tell you that right now. They'll give me.